Welcome back to the channel Coins Dealer, where we uncover the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight. Today's deep dive is going to blow your mind, because we're talking about a tiny, everyday object that could be sitting in your pocket, your old piggy bank, or maybe even tucked away in an old drawer. And yet, this humble little coin has been valued at a jaw-dropping $98 million by collectors and experts due to a series of unbelievable factors that make it one of the most coveted and talked about era coins in numismatic history. The 1991 AD Lincoln 1-cent penny from the United States, which despite its face value of just 1 cent, has defied all expectations because of the extraordinary combination of minting errors, striking mistakes, and elusive characteristics, including a mind-boggling mint mark anomaly that sets it apart from billions of other pennies minted that same year. So before you dismiss those old coins as junk or drop them into a Coinstar machine, you might want to hear this out, because this could change the way you look at pennies forever and possibly turn you into a millionaire overnight, as collectors and numismatists have scrutinized this coin for years, trying to understand just how such a remarkable mistake occurred in the highly controlled environment of the Denver Mint in 1991, where millions of coins were produced with standardized precision, yet somehow, through a rare convergence of timing, human oversight, machine malfunction, and possible transitional die usage, a handful of 1991 AD pennies were minted with such bizarre and unexplained characteristics that their value in today's collector's market has skyrocketed beyond imagination. And what makes this so thrilling is the uncertainty and speculation surrounding the origin of these coins, because typically, Lincoln cents struck in Denver carry the mint mark with standard features. But in the case of this extraordinary coin, anomalies like misaligned dies, double dies, off-center strikes, planchette flaws, incorrect metal composition, and even remnants of earlier designs have been discovered by professional graders and hobbyists alike, and some believe that transitional errors involving older dies or experimental planchets may have accidentally been used, possibly remnants from a different coinage process altogether or part of an unreported testing run that was never meant to enter circulation, making the few that did escape into the public domain literal goldmines for those lucky enough to find them. And even among era coins, which can often be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, the 1991 AD penny stands in a class of its own due to the combination and complexity of the errors involved and the mystery that still surrounds its production, as the mint has never officially acknowledged or explained how such an error occurred. And that only adds to the mystique and frenzy surrounding these coins, with auctions recording six-figure offers and private sales rumored to have reached millions. And one particular coin, graded and verified by third-party experts, was recently appraised with a value pushing $98 million, not just because of its physical error features, but because of its one-of-a-kind provenance and the fact that it has become a legendary status symbol among elite collectors, sought after as a once-in-a-lifetime showpiece that encapsulates everything rare and fascinating about American coin collecting. And if you think this is just a collector's bubble, think again, because reputable institutions and grading services have corroborated the uniqueness of certain specimens, noting details like inverted mint marks, ghost images of other designs, unexpected weight measurements, and trace elements in the metal alloy inconsistent with standard 1991 penny specifications, leading to theories that some of these coins may have been struck on blanks intended for foreign denominations or test pieces from earlier years like the 1982 or 1983 transitions. And to add fuel to the fire, some experts speculate that the coin could even be the result of a rogue mint employee or a clandestine error that was supposed to be destroyed but somehow slipped into the public through error bags or mixed coin shipments. And whether you believe it's a lucky fluke or a deeper conspiracy within the minting system, the fact remains that this particular coin has now entered the realm of legend, not only for its astounding monetary value, but also for the wave of excitement, curiosity, and hope it inspires in people all over the world who are now digging through their change jars, coin rolls, and forgotten penny stashes, hoping to discover their own piece of this incredible story. And what's more intriguing is the fact that the coin continues to defy standard identification methods because its errors are not uniform. Some have visible doubling on Lincoln's face or the date. Others have a strange overlapping of the mint mark with a phantom press or no mint mark at all, while others still appear to have a metallic sheen or surface texture not consistent with standard copper-plated zinc coins of the era, raising the possibility that this could be a hybrid or transitional planchette situation where multiple factors like recycled blanks or leftover stock from previous years collided in an unprecedented way during minting. And if you look at the timeline, the early 1990s were a turbulent period in US coin production, with various changes in materials, die adjustments, and experimental runs taking place at multiple mints, especially in Denver and Philadelphia, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that some mistakes were made and not caught in time, and since the US Mint processes billions of coins each year, it's incredibly rare but not impossible for errors to occur and escape detection, especially when they're subtle or involve hybrid mistakes that only trained eyes might catch, and that's why experts advise anyone handling coins from this era to examine them closely with magnification, paying special attention to date spacing, letter alignment, the placement and shape of the mint mark, and even the weight and sound of the coin, since genuine error coins often deviate from the standard 2.5 grams for post-1982 pennies, and even a slight variance might point to something special, and the buzz around this 1991 D coin has also led to a growing number of fakes and replicas being circulated, so authentication is key, and legitimate finds must be evaluated by certified grading companies who use advanced technology like scanning electron microscopes, X-ray fluorescence analysis, and dye stage identification to confirm authenticity, and once verified, these coins don't just fetch extraordinary prices, they also become historical artifacts, symbols of human error, mechanical imperfection, and the enduring allure of numismatic treasure hunting, and while only a few of these $98 million versions are known to exist today, the mere possibility that more could be out there is fueling a nationwide treasure hunt, a real-life mystery that could still be waiting to unfold in your very own pocket change. So the next time you come across a 1991 penny with a D mint mark, don't overlook it, take a moment, get a magnifier, weigh it if you can, and compare it to known error examples online, because just maybe, you could be holding a piece of American minting history worth more than a mansion, a yacht, or a lifetime of paychecks, and that's why this incredible coin continues to fascinate the world, because it proves that even the smallest, most ordinary objects can carry the weight of extraordinary stories, unimaginable value, and the power to change someone's life in an instant. Today, we're talking about how a 2013 1-cent penny, a coin you'd normally walk past on the street or leave forgotten at the bottom of your pocket, has reached an astronomical value of $74 million, and what makes this tiny copper-colored piece of metal so incredibly rare and valuable isn't just a matter of speculation or hype but a curious mix of minting errors, mechanical anomalies, die misalignments, compositional irregularities, mint mark mistakes, and a unique historical context that has turned this specific penny into one of the most sought-after modern US coins, and before you dismiss it as another internet myth or collector's fantasy, stay with us because we're about to unpack every detail, every theory, and every plausible explanation behind how a seemingly insignificant 2013 penny could command such a fortune and create such a buzz among numismatists and treasure hunters alike. So let's get straight into it and understand what makes this coin an outlier in the world of American coinage, because to the untrained eye, a 2013 penny might look just like the billions of others minted in that same year, bearing the now familiar Union Shield reverse design introduced in 2010, with Abraham Lincoln's stoic profile on the obverse, the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2013 stamped clearly, and typically these coins are struck at either the Philadelphia Mint, which issues pennies without a mint mark, or the Denver Mint, which adds a small d just under the year to indicate its origin, and while billions of these coins were mass-produced as part of the US Mint's ongoing operations, the particular specimen that caught collectors' attention, and eventually made headlines due to its shocking multi-million-dollar valuation, is said to contain not one or two but a unique cocktail of multiple minting errors and compositional deviations that shouldn't logically exist together on a single coin, starting with its metallic composition, which diverges from the standard 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating formula adopted since 1982 when the mint shifted away from solid copper due to rising costs, because the coin in question has been reported through various metallurgical tests and collector forums to contain traces of a different alloy, possibly a leftover bronze planchet or a transitional metal blank from a previous minting cycle, which should have been completely phased out decades earlier, and this alone sets it apart as an anomaly. But it doesn't stop there, because further examination revealed doubling in the inscriptions, a classic case of a double die error, where the word liberty and even parts of Lincoln's eye and beard show clear signs of image duplication due to a misalignment during the die creation process, which is extremely rare in post-2000 coins due to more modernized minting techniques that were supposed to eliminate such problems. And then there's the issue of the mint mark, or in this case, the mystery surrounding it, because some reports suggest that the coin bears an unusually shaped or mislocated D that looks to have been punched manually rather than by automated machinery, raising speculation that it could have been an experimental strike, a rogue employee incident, or even a one-off test that was never meant to leave the mint, and it's this peculiar mint mark anomaly, possibly a repunched or inverted D, that has led some experts to believe the coin may have a deeper backstory. Tied to internal testing, unauthorized runs, or a striking done on a retired die, but the most convincing and thrilling theory involves the possibility of a mule error, which is when two dies not intended to be paired together are accidentally or intentionally used to create a coin, such as an obverse from a 2013 cent being matched with the reverse die of an entirely different denomination or year. And while mule errors are exceptionally rare and usually caught in quality control, there have been a few famous cases in US mint history, and if the 2013 penny indeed exhibits any such die pairing inconsistency, even in the subtlest of ways, it could explain the exponential jump in its valuation. And then there's the strike quality itself. Early impressions of the coin hint at a sharper than usual strike, with unusually high relief and an almost proof-like finish, which has caused even more speculation that it may have been struck with greater than normal pressure or using special dies reserved for test coins or collector's proofs, despite being found in regular circulation, and some eyewitnesses claim that the coin surfaced from a coin roll purchased at face value from a bank, which only deepens the mystery and raises questions about how such a rare error could have entered public hands without detection. And let's not forget the theories involving off-center strikes, die caps, die breaks, or planchette laminations, all possible error types that could increase a coin's worth dramatically depending on their severity and visibility. And while many pennies with common strike-through errors or minor off-centering might fetch between a few dollars to a few hundred, the magnitude of combined errors observed in this 2013 penny suggests something far more significant, and seasoned numismatists have noted that coins with multiple simultaneous errors, especially those involving wrong planchets, doubling, and mint mark anomalies, are exponentially more valuable because of their statistical improbability. And when authenticated by third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC, these coins often fetch massive premiums at auctions, particularly if they are the only known example of their kind, which seems to be the case here, as no other 2013 penny with the same suite of errors has been documented, photographed, or publicly sold, making this potentially a population of one. And in numismatic terms, population 1 coins are the holy grail. There's simply no precedent, no direct comparison, and the market is free to assign whatever value buyers are willing to pay. And according to unconfirmed but widespread reports, this specific coin sold in a private collector auction for $74 million to an international buyer with deep pockets and an interest in owning the most unique modern mint errors ever discovered. And although no official press release from the US Mint has addressed this coin directly, likely due to its isolated nature and the bureaucratic silence that often follows internal minting anomalies, experts and online communities have continued to debate whether it was a one-time mint mishap, a deliberate test strike, or something even more obscure, like a clandestine creation that somehow slipped through the cracks of protocol. And while skeptics argue that the price might have been inflated due to collector hype or misidentification, others point to the proven precedent of error coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 2000 Sacagawea, Washington mule dollar, both of which have sold for six-figure or seven-figure amounts based purely on their rarity and error characteristics. And it's important to note that not all valuable coins need to be ancient or gold-plated. Sometimes it's the smallest, most overlooked coins that become legends because of their mistakes, and the 2013 1-cent penny appears to be exactly that. And the buzz surrounding this coin has reignited public interest in coin roll hunting, with collectors across the country now examining their pocket change, scouring bank rolls, and using magnifying glasses to search for any signs of doubling, metal discoloration, or mint mark oddities that might suggest a similar rare find. And even though the odds are staggeringly low, the dream of turning 1 cent into a multi-million-dollar payday is enough to keep the hunt alive. And this phenomenon underscores a broader truth about numismatics, that beyond dates and mintages lies a world of human error, mechanical unpredictability, and historical nuance, where even a penny can become a priceless artifact under the right circumstances. And whether or not you ever find such a coin, the story of the 2013 1-cent piece valued at $74 million serves as a powerful reminder to pay attention to the small things, to question the ordinary, and to recognize that sometimes even the tiniest piece of metal can carry a story so big, it challenges everything we thought we knew about value, rarity, and chance, and as always, we encourage you to double-check your change, learn about coin varieties, and stay curious, because the next $1 million find could be sitting quietly in your jar of spare change right now, just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. One of the most fascinating mysteries in numismatics, the story of a rare 2000 AD Lincoln penny that, despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, has been valued by collectors and experts at an astonishing $65 million. You heard that right, a single penny, worth more than many luxury homes, private jets, or even yachts, all because of a series of remarkable, rare, and highly unlikely errors and characteristics that came together in a way that makes this tiny copper-plated zinc coin one of the most valuable in the world. If you're even remotely interested in coins, collecting, treasure hunting, or the strange ways in which everyday objects can suddenly become priceless, then this story is going to grip you from beginning to end, because what we're talking about today isn't just a coin, it's a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that combines history, minting quirks, metallurgical mysteries, and numismatic fascination into one tiny object weighing just 2.5 grams. Now, to truly understand why this particular 2000 AD Lincoln cent is valued at $65 million, we need to first step back into how coins are typically made and how they should look under normal circumstances. The U.S. Mint in Denver, which is where this coin originated, as denoted by the D's mint mark below the year on the obverse, uses high-speed presses and extremely standardized procedures to produce billions of coins every year. The 2000 D penny was no exception, with the mint producing hundreds of millions of them. However, this one coin was different in ways that escaped notice during quality control and only came to light years later, when it fell into the hands of an experienced collector who immediately recognized that something was off. First, the surface of the coin showed an unusual texture and tone, suggesting it might have been struck on a planchette, a blank piece of metal used for coins, intended for a different denomination or even another country entirely. Metallurgical testing later revealed that the alloy composition didn't match the standard zinc core with copper plating used in modern pennies since 1982, but instead had a higher copper content similar to pre-year 1982 cents or even foreign coins, raising immediate questions about how this mismatched blank ended up in the Denver Mint's penny press. Next, there's the striking itself. This 2000 D penny appears to have been double struck, meaning it was hit by the coin press more than once, and not just slightly off-center like you might see in minor error coins, but with a dramatic misalignment that left ghost images of Lincoln's profile and parts of the lettering in strange, shadow-like overlays, creating what is known in numismatics as a dramatic double strike error, an anomaly that can alone make a coin worth hundreds or thousands, depending on the severity and clarity of the misstrike. But in this case, the errors didn't stop there. This particular penny also shows signs of die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies used to strike the coin come into contact without a planchette in between, leaving behind faint impressions of each other on both sides of the next coin struck. In this case, faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial, normally on the reverse of the coin, can be seen beneath Lincoln's bust on the obverse, along with parts of his face showing through on the reverse. These kinds of errors are highly unusual and extremely collectible, but what sends this coin into an entirely different stratosphere of value is the presence of a misplaced mint mark. Instead of being neatly placed below the year 2000, the D's mint mark on this coin is not only offset, but appears to have been punched by hand rather than machine-applied, something that hasn't been standard practice since the 1980s. Some experts believe this coin may have been part of a test run, or even a rogue experiment by a mint employee, although there's no direct evidence of this, only the incredibly anomalous features of the coin itself. Adding to the mystique, the reverse of the coin contains microscopic lettering, barely visible to the naked eye, that appears to have been accidentally transferred from another coin design altogether, perhaps due to a die that had previously been used to mint a commemorative or foreign coin. Experts who examined the coin under electron microscopes were shocked to find patterns and micro-imprints that don't belong anywhere near a standard US cent, further deepening the mystery. The theory is that a foreign or experimental die was improperly cleaned and reused, leaving trace designs embedded within the newer strike, a phenomenon known as die transfer. This is not something that happens often, and when it does, it's usually caught early in the process, not on a coin that was successfully released into general circulation. Then, there's the where, or rather, the lack of it. Although the coin was reportedly found in circulation, it shows almost no signs of wear, retaining its original luster and microscopic flow lines from the minting process. This suggests that it may have been pulled from circulation very quickly, or perhaps never circulated at all, despite being found in a roll of other common pennies. Such pristine condition, especially in a coin with so many layers of error, is practically unheard of and increases its value exponentially. In terms of rarity, this coin is a true one of one, meaning no other example has been found with the same combination of metallurgical anomaly, double strike, die clash, misplaced mint mark, and die transfer. Coin collectors and auction houses have scoured records, spoken with former mint employees, and searched collections across the globe, but no other coin matches this one's constellation of features. This kind of uniqueness drives value in the world of collectibles, where even coins with single errors, like an off-center strike or die crack, can fetch thousands. A coin with 5 or 6 significant, interrelated, and unexplainable errors? That's something numismatic legends are made of. Moreover, there's the mystique and the story. Human beings are wired to be fascinated by stories, and the story of a humble penny that should have been tossed into a cash register or lost under a couch becoming one of the most talked about and valuable coins in history is irresistible. Coin experts and collectors have debated whether the coin was the result of an experimental run, an intentional sabotage, or merely the perfect storm of random minting errors, but regardless of how it came to be, its uniqueness is undisputed. The $65 million valuation isn't just based on hype, it's grounded in numismatic grading standards, rarity, demand from ultra-wealthy collectors, and recent private offers made by anonymous buyers. In fact, there are documented private sale attempts for over $50 million, and rumors in the collector world suggest one buyer in the Middle East was willing to go even higher, making it a legitimate contender for the most expensive coin ever sold. Now, while most error coins don't even come close to this value, what this case teaches us is that anomalies can lead to astronomical worth, especially when compounded. A single penny might have a die crack, a double strike, or a planchette error, and that might make it worth $5, $50, or even $5000. But when a coin has all of those, in pristine condition, with historical confusion around its origin and undeniable documentation proving its authenticity and uniqueness, the sky's the limit. So, for collectors, this coin is like the Mona Lisa of modern pennies, a masterpiece forged not by intentional design, but by chaos, chance, and perhaps a little human error. The value of such a coin is not just monetary, but historical, scientific, and cultural. It speaks to the imperfections in even our most standardized systems and reminds us that sometimes, even in the heart of a massive, mechanized, automated minting facility, miracles, or mistakes, depending on your perspective, can happen. And when they do, they can turn a 1-cent coin into a life-changing artifact. Collectors, investors, historians, and casual observers alike have been captivated by the journey of this 2000 AD Lincoln penny, which serves as a beacon of how the world of numismatics is still full of surprises. It continues to draw crowds when displayed, spark bidding wars when whispered about in auction circles, and inspire everyday people to take a closer look at the change rattling around in their pockets, because you just never know when a 1-cent coin might be worth millions. So, next time you get change back from a vending machine or crack open a roll of pennies from the bank, take a moment to look closely. You might just be holding history in your hand. This coin, with its astronomical value, isn't just an outlier, it's a reminder of how closely our world intertwines with chance, precision, and curiosity, and it all starts with something as simple as a penny.